right. So good morning. In honor of celebrating Beulah for 160 years, we're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. So today we are here with Deacon John Jones. So Deacon John Jones, we ask you a few questions. My first question for you here today is, when and why did you join Beulah?
I was brought to Beulah by my mother and my grandmother in 1952.
Oh, wow. Oh, expand on that. How have you seen it change since then?
Well, it's changed extraordinarily over the last 70 years because it's been that long.
Oh, wow.
I was 4 years old when I came here. So I was baptized and joined the church in 1956 under Reverend Brown. And I went to school, Sunday school at Beulah Baptist. I was in the junior choir, the senior choir. I was an usher, now trustee and the deacon.
Wow. So you've done it all. You've done it all.
And I am the administrator for the church.
And the administrator for the church. Wow. What don't you do?
Everything.
Everything. Well, that's amazing.
And it's been wonderful. It's been an extraordinary, wonderful time in serving the church. Beulah Baptist has grown tremendously over the years. When I first started, we had 2 services. Now we're down to 1 service. And COVID has taken its toll on the services. We had to shut down the church in 2006 to 2007 because we renovated it. So we had moved to Reverend Abrams Church down on Fortson Road.
Oh, okay.
For about 8 or 9 months.
Oh, wow. So we were congregating together with Harvest Assembly?
No, we were having our own service.
Oh, our own service there.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They have 2 facilities down there, and we were using their old facility, having Beulah Baptist Church there.
Wow. That's amazing. I didn't know about that deep connection.
So we have a very deep connection to Harvest Assembly. And Reverend Abrams, I can remember when he was a young man at Beulah Baptist Church.
Oh, so he's somebody that also came here and
he started here.
Wow. Well, Beulah Baptist Church is definitely an eclectic group of people from all walks of life, and people join us and come visit us all year round, and we would love to learn a little bit more about you. Please, if you wouldn't mind, you've shared a lot. If there's something special you would like people to know about yourself.
The only thing they need to know, I'm a servant of God.
Amen. Amen.
And I'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Wow. Well, that's amazing. That's definitely a testament. Like, you've done it all, and just to know that that's just the one thing that you call to is definitely awesome. Wow. And here at Beulah, we believe, belong, and become the children and the servants of Christ that He has called us to be. And for the 160th year celebration, we have many things in store, from bingo to tours to gospel concerts. And it's going to be a very busy year, definitely exciting. So tell us, what does the future of Beulah look like to you? And, how do you see, us continuing to expand?
Well, as I see it from an administrative point of view, we have moved in the millennium in a different way. And one of those ways is our broadcast. I hope to see Beulah go international with its broadcast. Currently we have 2. We want to expand that to everything that the world will offer. And by using that is to get the word out of our pastor across, not only here in the United States, but internationally. that's Beulah's goal.
Well, that's amazing, and definitely hope to be a part of that and bringing that, and hopefully with this interview series and this celebration for this year, this is only great things to come from here. Well, thank you for your time. If there's anything else you would like to leave us with, if not, definitely appreciate your time this morning.
Be blessed.
Thank you.
Be blessed. Thank you.
All right, so good morning. In honor of celebrating Beulah for 160 years, we're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. So today we are fortunate enough to have Deacon Price. So Deacon Price, when and why did you join Beulah?
Good question. My family was originated from this particular church. My mother went, my grandmother went, and uncles and aunts and things. So I was integrated into this church. It wasn't like I had a choice. It was more expected for me to attend Beulah. When I joined church when I was 11 years old, and I think I joined church because of the particular reasons that everybody else was joining church. So I didn't have a realization or a real understanding of joining a body as great as Beulah at that particular time. Until I got old enough for myself to understand what my purpose was.
Oh, that's awesome. I love to hear that like a family church, and it's been in your generations and stuff like that. So that's awesome to be able to trace that back and then reach back to that history too. So that's really awesome. So Beulah Baptist Church, it's an eclectic group. People from all walks of life visit us year round. We would love to know a little bit more about you. So share something special you would like for people to know about you.
Well, something special about me, that I'm a very quiet person in most cases. And I like to be in service. One of the things that I look towards is to serve. And I learned that from Pastor Watson, because he's always serving, and he always thought of the children first and different things like that. So I was inspired by his inspiration to help young men and be involved in the community and different things like that. So that's basically who I am. And if you didn't know, that's what my goal or my purpose in life is to help the next generation come up.
Oh, perfect. I definitely love hearing that, and I keep hearing that from other members too about Pastor Watson and his love for helping the children, and the various groups that he was a part of, and knowing the various groups that you're a part of too, to see that continuing here at Beulah, is pretty awesome to see, where it's not Pastor Watson retired and that's gone. It's like no, that still came through fruition. It's like you were a part of that as a kid, and then now it's like you're helping the next generation too. So to see that and the passing of that torch is pretty cool. Let's see. So here at Beulah, we believe, belong, and become. So for the 160th year celebration, we have many things in store, from bingo to tours, gospel concerts. So it's going to be a very busy year. What does the future of Beulah look like to you?
That's a good question. I never looked at, I guess, beyond to tomorrow. I look at today, what we're doing today, versus what it's going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I think for myself, I just stay in today. I look in the past to see what we done right and what we done wrong, where we can improve different things on for it can advance us forward. But me personally, I don't have a particular goal for the church for the future. I'm just concentrating on right now.
No, I think that's very admirable too, just to be able to be present and in the moment. Because those decisions, those actions do lead to, to things in the future, without those stresses of getting to the future. It's like, hey, if I can just be 1% better today than I was yesterday, or if Beulah can be 1% better today than it was yesterday, we're moving in the right direction. So, well, I appreciate your time this morning. We appreciate all of the service that you do here for Beulah. It is definitely not unseen, and definitely also for all the young boys that you're helping here in the city of Alexandria. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Pretty cool.
So good afternoon. In honor of celebrating Beulah for 160 years, we're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. Today we have with us Miss Nicole Pope. So Nicole, when and why did you join Beulah?
It was not a choice. It was a experience. My mom was originally a member of Beulah, and it kind of came as a package deal when we joined the church. It was understood. I don't know if I really had a choice at that time as a child, but yes, I am a child of Beulah for the last 40 some odd years, and that's where that happened. I don't think it was a choice at all.
Oh, okay. Well, here at Beulah, right, we're an eclectic group of people from all walks of life, and people visit us year-round. So we would love to know a little bit more about you. So please share something special that you would like for people to know about you.
Okay, well, both of my parents come from very large families. My father was the oldest of 16 kids. My mother is the oldest of 14 kids. I am their oldest child, and I only have one sibling. But we are very connected to our families on both sides, and I've always been a very social, family-oriented person. I've always been the go-to for the children and young adults, even when I was a young adult. I think that's what drove my personality to care for others and kind of be a motherly figure. It just kind of goes with the package. Something people don't know, I have 2 cats at home. I love pets. I love dogs, and I love cats, and I love horses. So a lot of people don't know I like to ride horses. I'm a big sports fanatic. I used to run track in high school and was a part of the Penn Relays twice. I have 2 state championship belts under my high school, and I'm no longer athletic, but I like to watch sports.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
so
awesome.
Football, soccer, loving the FIFA right now with the soccer ladies, loving that. But I am a diehard football girl. Yes, a Commanders fan. Yes, I am. But I am a sports girl. I am.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for that. And that was awesome to get to know about your athletic background. So here at Beulah, we believe, belong, and become. So for the 160th year celebration, we have many things in store, from bingo, some tours. We've had a gospel concert this year. So it's been a very busy year for us. So what does the future of Beulah look like to you?
For me, the future of Beulah looks like it is starting now. There's a more inclusive opportunity, a more openness for others and diversity. I think that it's time for Beulah to take the steps to where what we're saying and what we meet out in our community needs to match. So I would like that type of cross-section of the things that we talk about in our Sunday schools and in our sermons, that I would really like to make sure that we do that outside and show everyone about the special people that Beulah are and how we are an open and inclusive environment for all types. And I would hope that our enrollment increases, and I think that putting ourselves out there in our community will definitely do that. We have the people that are able to do it. I think it's just a matter of time and change of day, and I think that's coming right now.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do for us here at Beulah, and we look forward to seeing the more things that you do for us.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
So good afternoon. And in honor of celebrating Beulah for 160 years, we're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. So today we have with us Ms. Martha Payne. So Ms. Payne, when and why did you join Beulah?
Okay, I joined Beulah Baptist Church on February the 13th, 1973. I joined because I wanted to be a Christian and fellowship with like-minded Christians. I also I love to sing songs, praises, and was encouraged to join the gospel choir.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, we do love to hear your voice every Sunday. So Beulah Baptist Church is an eclectic group, and people from all walks of life visit us year-round. So we would love to learn a little bit more about you. So share something special you would like for people to know about you.
Okay, I like plants, but it's hard for me to get the plants to grow in my house. They usually die within a couple of weeks because I guess it's not lack of water. Maybe I overwater them. And I like to travel, vacation in the hot sun. I like to visit my family members and friends near and far. I help seniors when they need a ride to the store or pharmacy or wherever. I'll call them and ask them, what do you need to do? Or you need transportation. Oh, yeah, can you take me this? And I will oblige them.
Oh, that's amazing. That is definitely awesome. So here at Beulah, we believe, belong, and become. So for the 160th year celebration, we're going to have many things in store. We've had bingo, so tours. We've had a gospel concert. So it's going to be a very busy year for us. So tell us, what does Beulah look like to you in the future?
The future for me, as to what Beulah will be in the future, I think the faithful members will still be there till the end. But I don't see new members coming in at this time unless different ministries support the interests for the younger generation.
I like that.
I know.
Well, thank you, Ms. Payne, for your time. I appreciate everything you do for us here at Beulah. We can't wait to see more that you do for us.
All right. Thank you.
Don't stop it yet. We can edit this. So, do you have any suggestions for ministries for the young people? Nothing?
Not right at this moment, because I don't see, unless they bring in new, younger generations. That's near and far now.
What were some of your favorite ministries growing up here? Or when you first came to Beulah, as the years went on, what were your most memorable ministries?
I loved the Bible class because you were able to, at that time we had books that you would study and you would come in and discuss among you. That was one of them. The other one was the gospel choir. And then they had a youth choir. And I had told my daughter, I said, if you join the youth choir, I'll join the gospel choir. That's how I got started in the gospel choir.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Beulah was active. I saw
Very
all the
active.
pictures in the books and we had a lot of things going on. Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you. That went well. All right.
That's all.
Well, good afternoon. In honor of celebrating Beulah for 160 years, we're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. So today with us we have Brother Preston Capers. So Preston, first question here is, when and why did you join Beulah?
I joined Beulah in April of 2022, and I joined because this felt like family. This felt like home.
I like that. No, that's so true. I mean, this church definitely, it's a group of, it's an eclectic group, so it's just a bunch of people here, all different walks of life, and it's very loving. You can definitely feel the love when you walk into Beulah. And we would love to learn a little bit more about you. So if you share something that maybe some members don't already know, or something that you find very interesting about yourself that you'd like to share.
I think the thing that I find most interesting about myself that people don't know is obviously I grew up as a military brat, so I moved around a lot. I actually lived in Germany for a couple years, and I was born in Korea.
Oh wow!
So I think a lot of people don't know that about me, but I also think that has helped me become very able to adapt to change within my environment and to overcome.
I can definitely relate to that myself, coming from military background as well. But there's nothing like that ability to adapt. But then when we are able to find that church home and stuff like that, there's that sense of like, okay, no matter where I go, like this is where I want to be at the end of the day. And I know for myself, Beulah is a big pillar in my life too, so I can share that with you.
Yeah, Beulah has led to a lot of just positive changes in my life, and I couldn't imagine not being a member of this church. Just since the day I came, and like I said, you guys welcomed me with open arms. Everyone was always happy to see me, and it was never fake or forced. It was always genuine, and that's something I really recognized early on, and I really appreciate it.
Well, here at Beulah, and you hear it often, as we believe, we belong, and we become those children and those servants for God that that He has called us to be. And for the 160-year celebration, we have many things in store, from bingo, some tours, gospel concerts. So it's gonna be a very busy year. So tell us, what do you see Beulah's future looking like?
I see Beulah's future as promising and vibrant, and I see that in it just continuing to grow in its membership base, not only just in the number, but also in the diversity. I think Beulah is a very welcoming church for people of all backgrounds, no matter what your race or ethnicity is. And so I see Beulah being that connector in this world that is so fractured, that brings people together from just all sorts of different walks of life.
Oh no, that's perfect. That's beautiful, and I'm definitely excited to, and same with you, and to be with you here at Beulah to help usher in that new part of change and be a part of it's like our church's rich history of 160 years before, but then to see where it's going to go with us also being members and men of the church as well. So I appreciate your time this morning, and we look forward to everything that you're going to bring to us here at Beulah.
I hope to just bring as much as I get from Beulah. All right, so good afternoon. In honoring of celebrating Beulah for 160 years, we're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. So today we have Ms. Linda Howard. So Ms. Howard, when and why did you join Beulah?
I started Beulah in 1956. I was at the age of 5.5 when I started here. During those times, the church buses would come through the neighborhood and gather the kids for school. So for Sunday school, they would gather us up on Sunday mornings, take us to Beulah, and we had Sunday school. And if you was not going to stay for the regular service, they took you back home. And one of the reasons that I joined Beulah Baptist Church, I was at 11 when I actually joined Beulah Baptist Church. And I have been here ever since, and one of the reasons I did join was because of the fact that Beulah showed love, and there were so many different families that were here, and everybody just became one big family, and everybody cared for each other. So at the age of 11, I decided to join, and I have been here ever since.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. Wow. Okay. So Beulah Baptist Church is an eclectic group, and people from all walks of life visit us year-round. And we would love to know a little bit more about you. Share something special you would like for people to know about you.
Okay. I loved Sunday school. And not only did I love Sunday school, but I also loved the Sunday school teachers. The teachers that we had, I'm not saying that the teachers are different today, but the teachers that we had back then, they were not just teachers. They actually took you under their wings, and they really cared for you, and they made sure that they shaped your future if it was possible. And for me, they did do that. At an early age, my teenage years actually, they put me into the welcome committee and the hostess committee. And being in those two committees, because you have to communicate a lot, that really got me out of my shyness. And so I owe a great deal of gratitude to Beulah and to those teachers because I am who I am because of them.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. I definitely love to hear how big Sunday school is for you and still is. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And here at Beulah, we believe, belong, and become. And for the 160th year celebration, we have many things in store, from bingo to tours to gospel concerts we just had. So it's going to be a very busy year and very exciting for us. So please tell us, what does the future of Beulah look like to you?
I think Beulah has a very promising future, and I think that it's going to continue to grow. Maybe not as fast as we want it to grow, but it is going to continue to grow. And now that we have the endowment intact, I think that's going to guarantee longevity of the church. But the one thing I think we need to focus on is trying to get the young people back in the church. And because it's the young people that's going to help carry the church on for the future.
Right.
And I don't have all the answers as to how we're going to do it, but I just know we need to come up with some type of creative ideas to do it. And maybe even having a forum of young people coming together and ask them what do they want and what do they see, how the church is of today and how they feel the church should be in the future. You know, get the word directly from them. And I think that that's going to help shape our future as well.
Well, thank you for that. And Ms. Howard, thank you for your time.
You're
I
welcome.
definitely appreciated and enjoyed this interview.
Thank you.
Please enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, thank you.
It's a good afternoon in honor of celebrating Beulah for 160 years. We're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. So today we have Deacon Linda Bates. So Deacon Linda Bates, our first question here is, when and why did you join Beulah?
My son Gary Jr. and I joined Beulah on January 5th, 1992. After visiting Beulah and other churches, I asked Gary Jr., "What church do you like the best?" He answered, "Beulah." I asked him why. Gary said, "I like the way Pastor Watson lets the children come on the pulpit doing prayer, and we get greetings from him, the ministers, and the deacons." Actually, that was the first reason we joined Beulah. We didn't experience that at other churches we visited. It was Beulah that was more inspiring. And we noticed, not just for certain people, but for the whole congregation.
Well, I like that. I definitely, I'd love that our church does that, where, bring the children up. Definitely children focused here. Beulah is an eclectic group here, people from all walks of life. People visit us year round, and we would love to know a little bit more about you. And thank you for sharing why you came and joined here at Beulah and your family. So please share something special you would like people to know about you.
I would love to. All my life, I've have worshiped and praised our God, Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. As a child, I grew up in the Tabernacle Holiness Church of Divine Healing, which is still very active and located in Norfolk, Virginia. And as a member of the church, I sang in the choir, attended church services, activities, Sunday school, Bible study. We studied for school, our lessons together for attending the different schools that we attended, elementary, junior high, and high school. We helped each other, and we had dinner sometimes at the church, and then service at night. We also have what we call, not daycare, but babysitting, which helped families to be able to know that their children were safe, because we lived in a very the kind of a neighborhood that had gangs. And we took care of each other and kept each other safe. Also, the fun part of being in the church was visiting the other 4 churches in our organization. There were 5 churches in our organization, and we visited other churches. We had a church farm that provided food for all of the families who needed food. They could stay in the basement of the church. We had 3 rooms that they could stay in, and we provided a place for the homeless. And we had people who would come in and cook, and there was always food in the church. As a teenager, I served as president of the Tabernacle Young People's Organization, which was called TYPO, for 2 years. I still have family there, and I visit when I go to the peninsula and Norfolk area to visit family. I have always loved the spirit which fills the church. The young people singing in the youth choir was encouraged to feel the spirit, to let the spirit show. We were asked to put our hands up to give God the praise. And that meant so much to me. Many years after we moved to Northern Virginia, I joined Beulah. I love feeling the spirit in the church. Also, I have been inspired by Pastor and Mom Watson, Pastor Q, and many members of our church down through the years. I praise and thank God for Beulah.
Well, that was beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, and it was great to hear and learn more about you and from your church down in Norfolk. So definitely appreciate that, and definitely would love to get down there sometime to visit that church that you've your home church.
I would love for you to go.
Well, thank you for the invitation. And then here at Beulah, we believe, we belong, and we become. That is our motto. And for the 160th year celebration, we have many things in store, from bingo nights to tours to gospel concerts. So it's going to be a very busy year. So please tell us here, this is our last thing here. What does the future of Beulah look like to you?
The light I see in Beulah tells me that God has a plan for Beulah. He has always had a plan for Beulah. And because he has kept this church for 160 years, God will work his plan for Beulah for the good. Thank you, God, Father, for Beulah. Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you, Deacon Bates, for this interview. It's been a joy learning about you and hearing from your experiences and the things that you bring here to Beulah. So again, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you.
All right, so good morning. In honor of celebrating Beulah for 160 years, we're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. Today we have Tammy Adams. So Tammy, when and why did you join Beulah?
Good morning, Taylor. I grew up in Beulah. I didn't really join. Well, I'm a member now, but my mother, my family were members of Beulah Baptist Church. I am Cleola Adams Carter's baby girl, and so I grew up in this church, and so I joined church at about 12 years old after being active and being brought here by my mom, who was the bulletin clerk for the church. She was in the female ensemble, many other things that she did. The last role she held was as a church trustee emeritus. So Beulah is family for me.
Oh, that is awesome. I do love hearing about a lot of our members and how it almost seems like a lot of our members, it just runs, through the blood and in the generations of being here, which is really awesome to see.
Yes.
And, Beulah, we are a very eclectic group of people from all walks of life, and people do visit us, year round. So we would love to know a little bit more about you. So share something special you would like for people to know about you.
Something special. Let me see. I love to travel. That's one of the things I do. I'm always trying to go off somewhere. I've been to Germany. I've been to New Zealand. I've been to Australia, Brussels, Hawaii. And something special about me. I was what does it have to be? Church-wise, or could it be?
No, anything.
Okay. Something special. Ooh, that's a wonderful question. What is something special? I thought about something like this yesterday. What did I come up with? That's something special about me. I am something special. That's a loaded question. And it's a shame that I can't come up with anything special. I think I have a lot of things. Something special. I'm a people person. You know what? I do have something. I have an example. I am a people person. I like to network, and people are somehow attracted to me. I don't know why. And I always know people. So one of the crazy things is in my life, over the span of my lifetime, I've been able to connect people to people who need help or may need touch spaces with somebody, because it's like I always know somebody. And it's like people come in, just be talking, and they'll say, just bring up something. I go, oh, I know somebody. I know somebody, and I'm going to connect you to that person so that you can get what you need. And actually, it was something that I think maybe my passion, and I've been trying to work through it to say, how do you do that, Tammy, in this space and time? And I was watching TV just actually this morning, and I was like, I could be like an Angie's List. I could be like, I have a nickname from college, from JMU. I could be Ziggy's List, because people know me as Ziggy, or at work, they know me as TIC, which is an acronym for Tammy in Charge. And so I said I could be a TIC's List. And, with different names and people, and so that I could be helpful to people in the community. And so that's something that I would like to share, because I do. It seems like my friends, they always say, when we go somewhere, they'll go, only you would know somebody. People like, you always know somebody. And I'm like, I know. I said, I don't know how it happens, but I just seem to know people who, and it may be inadvertently, I've met people. I went to LA, and this is something. I went to LA. I was with my girlfriend. She's out there. She's in the industry, event planner. So we go to this event, and she introduces me to this guy, and I said, oh, okay. And so I go, where are you from? He said, I'm from Alexandria, Virginia. He goes, oh, he says, I have an aunt who was a teacher, and she was a principal in Alexandria, Virginia. And I go, really? I was like, who? And he goes, Mercedes Morrison. I go, Mercedes Morrison? She was my principal. She was my third grade. Blah, blah. So we're going into this. He was like, no way. I was said, guess what? He pulls out his phone, bam, he calls his aunt. He was like, I have somebody here. He had to leave a message. And she called him back, and he called me back. He put her on the phone. We had left, and he called back, and he go, I have my aunt here. And I talked to her, and I was like, see, that's how I say the connection to people.
Mm-hmm.
How weird is that? I meet this dude.
Yeah.
He says, we're just talking, and he goes, oh, I have somebody, and that's what I'm talking about. I have that connection. It's like, and who would think? And so when we say the world is so wide and large, it really isn't, because we're really only, what they say, 6 degrees separation.
Right.
And in that case, it was only 1 degree separation, and so that was was so interesting to me, and that was, I think, my connection to this, connecting people to people. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, definitely thanks for sharing that. That is awesome. We believe, belong, and become people that God wants us to be here at Beulah. So for the 160th year celebration, we have many things in store, from bingo to tours to a gospel concert that we had during Easter. So it's going to be a very busy year for us. So tell us, what does the future of Beulah look like to you?
The future of Beulah. When I see Beulah, I see a legacy. I see a church who will be very prevalent in the community, not just locally. I'm looking globally. High expectations for us. I see the Spirit of God here. He's moving in the people that He's brought here. I'm just coming back to Beulah, and I'm just finding myself to get out and be more, more of a soldier for God. Be out there on the front lines, taking on new assignments and tasks where people say, I believe in you, you can do it. And so with that type of mentality and not pressure, but push from our pastor, Q, who is he's just an awesome man of God, and the leadership. I just see great things. In the words of Reverend Dr. Columbus Watson, I see great things for great people, for us, and for Beulah down the road, that it just doesn't stop with us, that it continues. And with that, I will do a plug for the endowment policy that we are putting in place, so that we do continue, and we do have a legacy, and continue this Beulah Baptist Church. Not 160 years, we're looking at 320 years plus another 160 years. So growing good people, following God's word, being spiritually led, and being the church that is not afraid to go out into the community and reach and touch people.
Well, that is awesome. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for your time here this morning with us. And it's a pleasure, and we look forward to see all that you'll do for us here at Beulah.
Well, thank you very much, Taylor.
So good afternoon, and in honor of celebrating Beulah for 160 years, we're going to go through a series of questions to get to know some of our members. So today we are here with Dr. Angelique Walker-Smith. So Dr. Angelique Walker-Smith, when and why did you join Beulah?
Well, now you see, I had come to Washington, D.C. to take a new position of ministry at Bread for the World in Washington, D.C. And I started July 31st, 2014.
Oh, wow.
Well, once I got myself settled in, and see, the other side of the story is my daughter was coming to Washington to go to American University. As it just turned out. It was just that juncture in the road, as an empty nester. And the Lord called me to a new work, called my husband to a new work in Pittsburgh. And we said, well, okay, that'll be all right. We'll go ahead with that. And so I was out on a Sunday looking for a church home. Because, that's what the covenant says. You find another place once you go to another place. So I'm like, well, I'm trying to follow the covenant. So I was looking for a place just to worship and pray with my people. And I already knew it was going to be of African descent. It was going to be historic, and it was going to be Baptist. It's going to be with my people. I already knew what the criteria was. That Not a question. I
Right.
knew what I was looking for, right?
Yeah.
So my daughter and I, my daughter decided she would help me. She would join me on this search for the place for a home.
Mm.
So I got an apartment here in Alexandria. Because, I work in D.C., but I didn't want to live in D.C. I'll just be honest. I
Right.
wanted to go a little farther away, but be close to my workplace. So I took a place here in Alexandria, and it's only 15, 20 minutes from my office to my door. I say, this is perfect, and I'm not in D.C. proper, and I can still take the subway or the metro, and this is going to be perfect because I like Alexandria. So we were out that Sunday, we ended up being about 8 different Sundays, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking at, just driving around, looking at different churches. Well, the truth is, I stopped by, me and my daughter stopped at a couple other churches prior to coming to Beulah, and I'm not kidding you. We thought there was another church, I won't call it, that we had stopped by the previous Sunday and thought maybe we'd do a follow-up on that church. Well, we went over there and found out that the church decided that they weren't going to have services. I didn't understand. I said, well, that's just bizarre. And then my daughter and I were like, but we still want to go to church. I'm not kidding you. We left that church and we're still just driving around. And there were people outside of this church on Washington. We had to come down Washington Street. And there were people outside and they looked like us. And I looked at the sign and said, and I should say, well, that's a Baptist church. And they look like us. Let's just go in there and see if we can sit in the back row and have a seat. That's what we did. And then we had to fill out the visitor's card. And Dr. Watson had made the you got to fill out the visitor's card for our visitors who always want to make you welcome.
Right.
So I completed the card, put my information on there. I am not kidding you. That day, just slipping into the back, we were in that back row. He said, we have today. He was all excited. And, as a clergy, you put down, that you're clergy, because that's what you do in the Baptist come. I put down, and he said, let them rise and be recognized. Let us welcome. I tell you, between the ushers at the door, Dr. Watson celebrating our arrival and introducing my daughter, I said, this feels like home. And he invited me back. After service, he came up after me and said, you come back. And the rest is really history.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. And that's just, well, the Lord definitely does work in some awesome ways to be able to get you to go from a church you thought you were going to see again to bring you here. So
yeah, it was amazing.
That's awesome. Well, Beulah Baptist Church is an eclectic group of people from all walks of life, and people visit us year-round, and we would love to learn a little bit more about you. So share something special that you would like people to know about you, or something that people might already know you, to something that they don't already know.
Well, basically, I'm just the daughter of Reverend Roosevelt Walker and Reverend Elder Geneva Walker Willis. That's really it. I'm not mesmerized. I don't, anything else that I've done, it's just been icing on the cake. But I'm basically just their daughter. And I just, the simple way that I was taught, I love the Lord, I love His call, and I love His people. And if I didn't have any of these other things, that's what life is about for me.
Well, thank you for that. That is absolutely awesome.
And it ain't. I'm sorry. Is this Pastor Q's bag? This is not your bag, right? Okay.
Mine is here.
God, excuse me.
Oh, you're welcome. But that was definitely amazing and beautiful to share, and just awesome to see. The amount of work and the places that you do work and you travel, and just to hear how humble and just to that call. So that's really beautiful. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And here at Beulah, we believe, belong, and become those children and those servants for Christ that He calls us to be. And for this 160-year celebration, we have many things in store. From bingo nights to tours to gospel choirs, concerts. So it's going to be a very busy year, which is very exciting for us. So tell us, what do you see the future of Beulah looking like?
Well, I just hope that Beulah, which I just love about this church, never forgets the ancestors.
Mm.
You know, I just think that we always have to celebrate those who went before us. And then we have to celebrate those who are coming after us.
Mm.
We're only in a moment. Time is long. Forever is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And God is the Alpha and the Omega. We only get a blip on that spectrum. And so I hope that we will always see our connectivity to the past and to the future, and we'll be a Sankofa people. And I think if we have that as an ongoing, consistent thread in everything we do, and find that connection from Bible study to breakfasts, preaching, whatever we do, that we will always have that as a fundamental principle of everything we do at Beulah. And I just think the Lord blesses that.
Oh, well, thank you for that, and thank you for your time today. And we appreciate everything you do for us here at Beulah when you're here and even when you're not here.
Thank you for that. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.